Look, we're all tired of seeing the same references over and over and over again. And I know you're using Pinterest for your references. You know how I know that? It's because I know which exact image you're using because I've seen it on my feed too. There's no output without input. The quality of your input matters a lot. So if you're looking at stuff that nobody else is looking at, well, you're gonna make stuff that looks like nobody else's. Today I'm going to share with you 7 underrated sources of references because getting good reference material can be what sets you apart from everyone else. The last time we talked about museum websites as a great resource because they're really good at documenting their artifacts because, well, they're museums. But another institution that documents their collection just as fastidiously are auction houses. Lots of major auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's have auction catalogs available online. These catalogs contain high-res photos of the objects from multiple angles, and the best part is that these auctions are generally categorized according to some theme. So if you're looking for references for steampunk props, for example, you can look at auctions for timepieces or Victorian era items. While they mostly contain historical items, my favorite auction site is Prop Store. They specialize in selling items from film productions, so there's plenty of really cool references for fantasy and sci-fi art. It's a little dangerous because every time I find myself on Prop Store, I'm tempted to put in a bid for one of their listings. Now, with all these great websites at our disposal, what better way to browse them than with the sponsor of today's video? Opera GX is partnering with artists to create custom mods, and they've asked me to make one for them. So I worked with the team at Opera GX to create my own custom mod. So instead of just being a wallpaper, it's now a complete browser theme. Here's an inside look into the process of making the background art. Now, I really wanted to pay tribute with my initial sketch to iconic cyberpunk imageries. The cool bike, the neon lights, towering skyscrapers, basically all the trappings of cyberpunk art that I know and love. So even though this painting was all done digitally, I used my own custom brushes to emulate the look of it being drawn in traditional media because that's the era of anime that I grew up being inspired by. I really wanted to make it look like it was painted for an anime in the 90s. So that includes the painting as well. I didn't want it to look too perfect or digital. It needed to have the slight imperfections you get from a background painted with poster paint. And the same goes for the color scheme as well. I wanted using the browser to feel like going for a drive on a cool night in the city. And I gotta say, I think the team at Opera GX did a really good job at implementing the background ambience and the additional sound effects, which make using the browser a really pleasant experience. The added touches really bring the artwork to life. You know, you have the sounds of the city and the glowing neon lights and the ships hovering above the skyline. It really adds to the immersion of being in this place. It was really fun taking something I designed and turning it into an experience that you can use every day. Now, if you'd like to try it out for yourself, you can install my mod using the link in the description. It's free and it only takes a couple of clicks to install using the quick import tool. It's a great reason to try Opera GX out for the first time. And if you're already using Opera GX, it's an easy way to give your browser a completely different look and feel. There's loads of other really cool mods on the GX store as well by other creators and games alike. Once again, it's free to try out at operagx.gg/chromamoma. Thanks again to Opera GX for collaborating with me on this project. And we know how important studying from the masters is, but where do you find high-res, color-accurate photographs of great paintings? Well, Arts and Culture is Google's online repository of museum collections. They have high-resolution photographs of lots of great paintings by masters including Van Gogh, Velázquez, the list goes on. By high-res, I mean high-res. They've partnered with quite a few museums, so you can browse through their collections through Arts and Culture, although I would still recommend going directly to the museum's collections website if they have one. The artworks are also sorted by artist, era, or art movement, so it makes for a nice browsing experience. There's also a nifty little phone app, so if you ever feel like taking a break from doom scrolling, this is a nice alternative. Now, there's a whole host of color scheme generators on the internet, so I'll flip through a few of them on screen for you. While I generally don't recommend set color schemes like this, I think it's always better to come up with one yourself. They can make for a good starting point, particularly if any of these color schemes resonate with you emotionally. They also make for good study material. You can analyze how certain colors interact with others and why some combos don't work and others do. Now, for the most part, these websites all do the same thing, which is to generate a color scheme based off a specific color or at random. It's really more about which UI or UX you prefer at this point. I especially like the Wada Sanzo one simply because of its origin. Wada Sanzo was a painter who famously published the book A Dictionary of Color Schemes in the 30s, and the website now catalogs the combinations in an interactive site. I like it because the color schemes feel more intentional and stem from a specific time and culture. If you've ever admired the character designs of JoJo Bizarre's Adventure or Bleach for their insane drip, this site is just for you. First View is an archive of fashion runway photographs that date back to the 90s. They have a mind-numbing catalog of designers to choose from. I mean, just look at these Yohji Yamamoto pieces from the 90s. Like, stick this on your protagonist and you win at character design. You can find endless references to help you refine your character's wardrobe. A lot of these runway shows are also haute couture, avant-garde stuff, so it's even more fantastical, which is great if you're designing for out-of-this-world characters. As much as I love collecting art books and filling my shelf with all this, the art of this and art of that, I only have so much space. Creative Uncut is an online library of concept arts for video games. This site is a goldmine of game art, especially if you're a fan of Japanese games. From official illustrations to concept art to model sheets, this is a really great source of reference if you're trying to break into the industry as a professional, because it sets expectations for the type of work you might make while working on a game. They make for really good benchmarks for quality. On top of that, it's just nice to be able to browse and discover new arts and artists. This Zenless Zone Zero game is Creative Uncut has been around for a very long time now. It was a key source of reference for me back when I was still in art school. That's 10 years ago. So I'm really glad to see it still going and the collection still continuing to grow. Well, there you have it, some of the off-the-beaten-path sources of reference to help you expand your visual library. If you've used any of these before or have other hidden gems to share, let me know in the comments below. Bye.